Okay, so I think we can start. Hello, Marco.
Hi, Sophia.
How are you?
I'm wonderful today, and you?
Good. And you, Pedro? Hello.
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
How are you
Welcome
today?
everybody. I'm fine, thank you so much.
Okay, so I think we can start now. So hello, everyone. Hello, Mark. Hello, Pedro. Hope you're doing great with everything, all this stuff that is going on in this world. And welcome to our webinar provided by ITSCREDIT and Multicert. My name is Sofia Augusto. I'm ITSCREDIT Marketing Manager, and I'm going to be your host for today's webinar. So, first of all, welcome again, and thank you for taking your time for being here today. We'll be running a live question and answer session in the end of the webinar. So if you have any questions, just pop them in there or during the session, because the Q&A mode is already on. In the end, we'll choose between 3 to 5 to answer. If you miss anything, don't worry, because we'll be sending around the recording when it's available. So today you'll hear from Marco Souza, ITSCREDIT specialist, and Pedro Gigante, Multicert's digital transformation advisor. So our webinar will start with a contextualization about the problem we're trying to solve, which is the traditional credit and the bureaucratic process associated to this. And then we'll present a solution from this problem, which is the digital lending. This is a credit process that to be completed, that to be done from end to end, needs the digital signature part, which will be explained by our partner Multicert, in this case, Pedro. In the end, we'll be running a live demo, and afterwards we can do the questions and answer session. So, leave you now with Marco, our credit specialist. He has more than 13 years of working experience in multiple industries at an international level, and on the last 5 years has been working on the credit area. So, Marco, go to you.
Thank you very much, Sophia, and obviously welcome to everyone at today's webinar with ITSCREDIT and Multicert. So, going to the next slide about the problem itself that Sophia was talking. Basically, nowadays we have two sides of the same coin. In one hand, we have the traditional credit operation, the bureaucratic process, and in the other hand, we have the digital lending solutions. There are huge differences between them and, for example, applying for a credit by a traditional money lending or by a digital lending solution, obviously. Talking about the traditional money lending perspective, we are probably familiar with a bunch of paperwork and countless round trips to branch front office just to complete a credit operation that could be a mortgage, could be a personal loan, for example. I remember a few years ago when I was working at the bank institution, just to complete a credit operation would take around 3 or 4 weeks just to complete all the steps, just to provide and to conclude the credit operation. So nowadays we are facing a completely different times with digitalization and with the solutions provided by companies like ITSCREDIT. We can assume that, for example, nowadays and the near future, the digital lending solutions are a completely game changer in the financial world. And nowadays it's completely possible just to manage our financial life and apply, for example, for a personal loan in just a few minutes. So going to the next slide. The market key drivers. So basically, we have here some key drivers about the banking institution. So basically, we are seeing some data about the primary bank satisfaction survey. At the top, we are seeing the data provided by Capgemini Financial Services Analysis last year, and showing primary bank satisfaction according to the customer perspective, stating that the customers consider that they have a narrow range of products and services, then does not exactly match their needs or preferences, and it's not well integrated with other platforms that nowadays we use daily. And obviously, you are seeing some data that, for example, 16% of overall customers agrees on that. According to the age, the new age customers, 26% they consider that they agree to with those three statements. And one really curious finding from this survey is that almost half of new age customers, they are willing to change their bank account in the next year, in the next 12 months. Below, we have more data about the primary bank satisfaction survey. We have the 5 reasons, the top reasons why the customers, they want to adopt banking services from non-traditional players. So 70% they are attracted by low-cost offerings. Then 68% they seek the ease of use, obviously. Then 54% they want faster services. Then we can see 2 more. The first one about better features in terms of products and in terms of services. And obviously, nowadays, having just a different type of customers, they are just seeking from personalized products. The solution. So the solution that I was talking before was about the digital lending solution. Here we have a definition from R. Morgan from ABI Banking Journal from 2017 that basically is an explanation about digital lending. It's a robust definition about digital lending, and obviously I think that nowadays, in this precise moment in our lives, has a lot of sense just talking about digital solutions, about digital lending. Why? Because at one point, right now we are just facing a huge challenging times with this pandemic, COVID-19 virus, and obviously the consequences of this virus, this pandemic, are just changing the consumer behavior, and obviously just pushing many of the needs for the online perspective, for the digital lending solution. So nowadays it is the changing moment for the banking institutions just to follow up the trend in terms of just facing and just overcoming the time that we are just facing now. Going next, our approach, ITSCREDIT approach. So basically, we have the approach of our omni-channel digital lending platform. We consider that in 7 steps, we can just conclude a credit operation. Obviously, we are just talking about 7, but could be less or more, obviously, according to the financial institution. In this case, we consider 7 that always a credit operation just starts with a simulation. So all the credit operations just start with the simulation, with the amount, the rate, the period, and then we have the simulation just to see the credit by the time. Then we have the application moment when we want to proceed in terms of this credit operation. Then the scoring, obviously, you must know if we approve this credit operation or not. So we have this moment just to see. Then we have the decision that could be automatic or manual. Then we have collaterals, if applicable, obviously, we are just talking, for example, in terms of mortgage. This step, in terms of personal loan, it's not applicable. Then we have the moment of contracting, and then the money disbursement in customer's account. So one thing really important that Pedro next will explain, it's the moment of contracting, that nowadays we have solutions in terms of digital signature that could help how to complete the credit operation without going to a physical branch from a banking institution. Next, we have here 3 types of digital lending scenarios. We have the first one for non-customers, the second one for customers with pre-approval, and then customers without pre-approval. So basically, the first one, the scenario for non-customers, we can just have a complete credit operation, a flow that allows a customer just to complete a credit operation in a completely digital way. Could be a non-customer. We upload the information, we authenticate the customer, the person, and then he can just complete in just a few minutes the credit operation. Then the second scenario, we have customers with pre-approval. It is valid only to a certain type of customers with a certain risk profile and with a certain product, the credit product. And then we can just customize, we can just parameterize all our platform just with this pre-approval scenario. Then the last one, we have the scenarios for customers without pre-approval. So it means that in a certain moment, there will be a need to approve the credit operation in terms of manually. Why? Because the previous one is completely automatic, the pre-approval. Without pre-approval, we need a moment just to decide if we approve or not this credit operation. Going next, we have here the flows about this digital lending scenarios. Those digital lending scenarios, we have the scenarios for non-customers, for customers with pre-approval, and customers without pre-approval. So the first one for non-customers, like I said before, you have the first one that starts always with the simulation. Then we upload the personal data. Then in the third moment, we upload the bank information. And then the last moment, with partners like Multicert, we have the decision and the signature, the digital signature. Then in the second scenario, with customers with pre-approval, we have the first moment always with simulation, then the pre-approval moment, then the online contracting and the signature, like I said before, with partners like Multicert, and then the money disbursement. The last scenario with pre-approval, customers without pre-approval, the simulation first, then the automatic decision, then the online contracting and signature, and then finally, the same moment, the money disbursement. So now we are going to see a short video about ITSCREDIT and about ITSCREDIT solutions in terms of digital lending. So hold on a second, and then I will just pass the word just to my colleague, Pedro Gigante. Now, Pedro, your turn.
Okay, so just to introduce Pedro from Multicert. He is the Multicert Digital Transformation Advisor. He has more than 19 years of working experience in areas connected to technologies, especially software, and on the last 3 years has been working on the digital certification, digital information management, identification, and electronic signatures. So, Pedro, back to
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophia, and thank for Marco for your great presentation. It was very, very inspirating. First, I would like to present the company, Multicert. We are a company with years of experience. We have 18 years of existence, and we are specialized in security and electronic certification. We are also a certificate authority, certified as a trust third party, and we are regulated by the National Security Office. That's why we are here in the middle of these contracting issues. We work in 3 main areas: the advanced electronic ID solutions. We are a digital certificate issuer, but we also work in security and cybersecurity markets. And last, the digital information management, which is what we are going to talk about in this webinar, specifically the electronic signature, as Marco said in their presentation. Changing here the slide, just a minute, okay. So today we would like to introduce you our mTrust platform. This platform, the goal of this platform is, as you can see in your screens, it's a digital platform that securely manages the end-to-end life cycle of all contracts and all digital information involved in the business relationship between 2 or more parties. Simplifying or speaking specifically about the credit applications, mTrust plus the ITSCREDIT solution that Marco presented allows to do the entire credit application process in a total digital and remote way, as you could see in the presentation. And we will see in the demonstration further ahead. Going to the next slide. In this slide, I just want to give you an overview of this mTrust solution. As I said, this is a platform that was designed to respond to the complete life cycle of a contractual relationship between 2 or more parties. And for that, mTrust have 3 main models. The first one is the customer onboarding electronic identification. And in this model, we can remotely identify new customers using, for example, the selfie or the Face ID feature, as the solution ITSCREDIT also do. And what we do in this feature is we do a match between the selfie that the customer takes itself and the photo of the ID document that the customer provides. But we have other options. For example, to open bank accounts, it's also possible to make a video call with a human bank operator or a subcontracted operator, where we can do the entire process of opening a bank account remotely. The second model, the contracts or documents management, this model is where we use the electronic signatures, which is our focus here in this webinar, and we'll talk a little more about it in a minute. And the third model, the communication management, short explanation, this is a model. This model is a digital equivalent of sending a letter with receipt notification with legal and probative value. What this means, normally this is used to send important documents where we need to have a proof of delivery of that important document. So normally we use this to be a substitute of the postal office. We can use these models independently. If you need just the electronic signature, you just can use the second model, or if you need just the onboarding, you can use just the first model, wherever, according to the needs. So we can say the mTrust solution is also a multi-service, a multi-channel, and also a multi-signature platform. Now, focusing in the second model, if I ask, certainly everybody agrees, which is when you must sign the contract, when you need to seal the deal, is typically when usability and mobility fail, right? Because we need to be physically present for the signature, or we need to have papers going back and forward between both parties. It's slow, it's complicated. Even more now that we live in the pandemic scenario, where we need to continue to work and we need to continue to close deals, but remotely is even hard in these moments. So what we propose, just to show you the next slide. Okay, we propose simplify and increase your business using electronic signatures. And you can use it both in person or in remote channels. You can do this safely using Multicert as a trust third party. And we can provide services of increased level of trust and digital custodial services that we have. And you can do this all compliant with eIDAS regulation from the European Parliament. This regulation regulates the trust service and the electronic signature and the electronic identification. It's extremely important to be compliant with this regulation if you want to do electronic signatures. Perhaps you are wondering now, but how do I sign documents remotely? What kind of signatures can I do? Well, we support different types of signatures. We have advanced signatures. The most used in the market are by far the advanced electronic signatures. And I would like to highlight two types of advanced electronic signatures. The first one is the biometric trace signature. This is an advanced electronic signature where we use a tablet and a digital pen to sign the contract directly on the device, on the tablet. And it is complete paperless. Normally, we use this type of signature in face-to-face channel, for example, at the bank counter. But the second advanced electronic signature that I would like to highlight is the OTP, which means one-time PIN or one-time password. We can say this is by far the most used electronic signature on the market, mainly by credit institutions. It consists of sending an SMS with a unique code to the cell phone of a customer, previously identified, which he inserted the unique code in our mTrust platform, and with that step, the customer signs the documents. It's very easy, it's very fast, and it is possible to have one or more signatures, and it's possible to sign one or more documents. You can see this signature in the demo in a short while. And I would like to make clear some things about these advanced electronic signatures. These signatures are legal, are compliant with the eIDAS regulation, and Multicert's role is to ensure that the client has signed the right documents and we act as a trusted third party. That's why any electronic signature process that we mediate, we issue a declaration with all the information of the process in order to comply the eIDAS regulation. Whenever necessary, we can also keep the evidences of the process using a digital notary, which makes the process even safer. Just a note also, we of course also support qualifying electronic signatures. These signatures are based on the digital qualified certificate. This certificate uniquely identifies the signer and must be issued previously by a certification authority like Multicert. This is a strong electronic signature. This signature has legal and total probative value, but because of their complexity, they are much less used in the market. And normally the market go by the advanced electronic signatures because it's very easy, very fast, and legal. So, just passing the slide. As you can see, it's all about trust. And that's why trust, it's at the center of everything we do. We are a trust third party and all our solutions are security by design. So it's very important to have trust in this process. It's very important to close deals, but using electronic signature, but with trust. We also work in different markets. The main one, of course, are the banks and the consumer credit institutions. Of course, they were the first ones using this type of signatures. But we also work with human resources companies, HR departments, retail, insurance companies, industry, among others. Hopefully, this market is growing very fast, especially now that we are living the COVID-19 pandemic. So, to finish and to wrap up, the main message that we want to leave with you is the best way to establish business relationships today is by using electronic signatures. It's easy, it's fast, it can be done remotely. But at the same time, it's important to do it in the safe and the legal way. The best way to do this is using a trusted third party like Multicert, if I can say. That's it. Thank you for your attention, and we can carry on with the demo.
Thank you so much, Pedro. I think it was very clarifying. And if don't forget that if you have any questions during the presentation, you can write, and in the end we'll choose between 3 or 5 to answer. But you can just write them, and then we choose in the end. So now my colleague Marco is going to explain and demonstrate how, together with Multicert, we do this practically, how we allow banks and financial institutions customers to complete a 100% online credit application process in minutes, simplifying the whole bureaucratic process with the digital signature.
So now I will just accede to ITSCREDIT app, just to perform a credit operation. So right now I'm in my bank account. I have here some items just to apply if I want in terms of credit. For example, I have a house, a car, or holidays. For example, I can, for example, just choose to buy a car. I have here some images about this car, Audi A3, have some features about this car, location, and some more information about this car. So let's calculate, let's simulate this credit operation. So we have here the amount, which amount we want just to borrow from the bank. We can just slide bar to the left or to the right just to choose the amount. Then we can just choose the turn to, how many months. Then we can just click here, apply. Then we have here a resume of this credit operation with the credit amount, monthly value, all the commissions, the rates. Now we have to upload the proof of income to the image, then this one too. Then we continue. Then we must read all legal aspect. Just perform this credit operation, then we continue. Confirm, then sign the contracts, SMS notification, then we agree. We receive the token, then we verify, and we have concluded the credit operation in just a few seconds.
So hope this was clear for you. Once again, if you have any questions, just write them out and we'll try to answer in the end. And now, just to conclude, our credit platform has already proven capable of providing a considerable increase in leads, an increase in the volume of loans and efficiency. At the same time, there were decreases in the waiting time for credit approval, a decrease in operation costs, and a reduction in the time taken to launch new products. By making digital and automating all the lending process, our customers can establish a relationship that is much more simpler and more immediate, meeting their customers' expectations. And this, for us, is a win-win scenario. So, going now to the questions and answers. You can just write your questions and we'll try to answer. So, I have one here already from Rogério Mota, which I think Marco can answer.
Yes, obviously, Sophia. So, okay. So, yes, true. ITSCREDIT, it's not a financial company. We are a financial technology company. We provide software for lending. But we have experience in terms of integration, first with core banking systems, and obviously with central banks too. Why? Just imagine, just to provide a risk analysis in terms of, for example, scoring or rating for companies, we need data, we need information from different type of sources. Obviously, we have to integrate with the core banking systems from our customers, from the banks. For example, we have experience with some really well-known companies in the market in terms of integration with the core banking systems. And obviously, we have experience just integrating our platform with the central banks. We have experience in Portugal, in Angola, in Mozambique, in Kenya, and in Canada too. So I think that I just answered this question. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now I have another one here. I think this one is for Pedro, for Multicert. Here. Can you explain what it means to be a trusted third party?
Okay, thank you, Andrea, for your question. Yeah, it's easy. Trust third party. It's a company that has to comply with the European eIDAS regulation that I spoke in the presentation, and that guarantees the security. In this case, between the electronic signatures, between the parties, and to check if we are complying with that regulation, we are regulated and audited by the National Security Office. So, briefly explain, trusted third party is a company that have to obey and be compliant to the European eIDAS regulation rules.
Okay, thank you, Pedro. Now I have here one question from Susanna that I'm going to copy paste just to publish. It's going to appear that it was ITSCREDIT, but it was Susanna who wrote.
Okay.
So maybe this is for both, right? Because we also have credit for companies, and in the end he asks about the contracts.
Yes.
So
I can explain a little bit about the question. Thank you, Susanna. Yeah, the challenge here is to do the onboarding, but it's possible. We have some solutions on the onboarding that we can identify each one of the partners of the company, and we can to do the onboarding of the company, and we can provide credit and open accounts in the to companies, in not just for private people, private ones.
To add information more, actually, by ITSCREDIT, in terms of our platform, we have a solution for individuals and for companies too. And obviously, just having a partner that can provide the certification in terms of onboarding, it helps. In terms of our flow, in terms of how to complete a credit operation, we can just provide the same flow or almost the same flow, obviously, with just a few details just to tune the flow in terms of credit operation. We have the same solution for companies too.
Okay, so next question. I think this is for Pedro. So here.
Okay. Thank you, Luis. Yes. How we keep track of multiple signatures? Yeah, it's very easy. We have two ways to do this. We can use the sequential process, and the sequential, as you say, we send or the document is sent offline, if I can say, by email or by SMS for the other parties, and the other parties can receive a link. It enters in the platform, in the mTrust platform, and sign, for example, with the OTP. And we can do this sequence using a sequence. When first signs the person 1, then the person 2, and go with that. Or we have other option that is it can be signed at same time. We send at same time by email or by SMS the document for each party, and each party enters in the link, sign, and when all the signatures are done, the document can be sent by email for each one of them, each signer.
Okay, thank you, Pedro. I think it was answered, and I think it was clarifying. So we have here one more question, which is this one. How long does it take to implement such a process? So maybe this is for both.
Okay, in terms of ITSCREDIT platform, so actually it depends, because we can just implement our platform stand alone, or we can just implement part of our platform. Actually, in our platform, in our digital lending platform, we have 4 parts. The first one, the ITS calculator, it's an engine that we implement in our customers just to provide a simulation in terms of back office and in terms of mobile solution, in terms of public website too, in terms of partners too. We have the second part of our platform, the loan origination system, that it covers all credit life cycle in terms of a credit operation. Then the third one, the third module, the risk analysis and scoring that I just talked before with the question about the core banking systems, that we have both solutions for individuals and for companies too in our platform. And then our last module, we have a module completely specialized in terms of recovery, in terms of collections. So this is our platform. In terms of our implementation, our time to implement our platform, our full platform, normally between 6 months and 1 year. Obviously, it depends the level of technology, the level of integrations that we need, first of all, just to study and then to implement our solution in our customer.
If I can say, our solution, it's much easier. For example, with the ITSCREDIT solution, we are already integrated. Normally, we integrate with the bank system or with the credit company system. And normally, we can implement in about, if we have 100% focus, and more or less about 1 month.
Okay, thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Marco. We have here one more question. I think we all still have time, from Rogerio. Here.
Well, okay, in terms of anti-money laundering, we provide the platform. We don't provide the anti-money laundering solution, but in our platform, we integrate with partners that provide this solution in terms of anti-money laundering. We have partners that operate worldwide, and we integrate that solution in our platform just to perform this service in our platform.
Thank you, Marco. I think it was clear, Rogério. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So you're welcome. So any more question? I think, yeah. If there's no more questions, I just have to thank you all for be present and stay safe. And hope to see you soon. Any questions? If you have any question that it was not answered, you can just send an email, contact us in our website. We are also going to send the recording of the webinar in the end. So thank you so much, and please contact us if you have any question. And have a great day. Have a great week and weekend. And thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you.